Miami, Florida, USA marks the second stop on the 2012-2013 ISAF Sailing World Cup Global Series. 311 sailors from 37 countries are here to see who's got what it takes to make it to the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's also a brand new Olympic quadrennium, and there are plenty of new things in store for this regatta as well.
We're already getting some great breeze and some great competition, and we can expect a couple new classes making their Olympic debut, and we're also are trialing some new formats for ISAF. Some of them are pretty radical, but we're testing those formats here in Miami. We're going to test some more in Europe later this year, and then ISAF will make a decision next November. So we're happy to be part of that process and try them out and also get our 2 cents in, whether the ones we like.
With the regatta already well underway, we join the action on day number 4 with the start of the Finns.
The Finn has been in the Olympic Games since 1952, and with sailing legends like Russell Coots and Ben Ainsley coming from this class, we could see the sport's next names right here. Beautiful start for all 28 boats, and we're off. Upwind, the majority of the beat favors a long port tack. The top mark is set close inshore, and that's where the boats finally are able to play a few shifts, including Canada's Martin Robitaille, who has shifted his way into the front of the fleet. Eric Ladesis and Brendan Casey round out the top 3. Caleb Payne, USA 6, is leading this division so far. He's in 4th. The Finn is one of the few classes where kinetics are legal. As all of the fleet pumps their way downwind, it gets exhausting in light air. It's a right-hand shift. Caleb Payne jives onto port and nails it. With that move, he'll take the lead. He'll lead back upwind around mark number 2. Upwind, Payne chooses to protect the left-hand side. Robitaille from Canada, the right. It pays off. We have a new leader. Oh, an incident with Russia's Alexei Salavanov has Robitaille spinning circles, and that'll take him out of the lead. So that gives Caleb Payne the lead, and he'll take it right through the finish line.
So it's just basically stay out there and play conservative and not do anything too crazy and play the averages.
And now we move over to the always competitive women's single-handed division, the Laser Radials. And with that, they are off. Ireland's Annalise Murphy currently leads the division over USA's Paige Rayleigh. Upwind, big breeze is building as the fleet spreads out. It's Ireland's Annalise Murphy out in front again as she tacks for the top mark. Murphy squeezes up around the mark. It looked like she hit it. Yes, she did. She's spinning a circle as the pack closes in from behind. That opens the door for Finland's Tuula Tenkanen, ranked number 5 in the world, and she's putting on a charge for first. Around the leeward gates, and Tenkanen has got the lead. Approaching the top mark for the second time, it is a 2-boat battle between Canada's Isabella Berthold to the right-hand side here, and Finland's Tuula Tenkanen. Now Tenkanen's going to try and hold Berthold from tacking. Here we go, simultaneous tacks into the mark. Finland stays ahead, but only just. Downwind, Tenkanen holds off Berthold and the rest of the fleet. The final leg is a 300-yard sprint to the finish. And Tuula Tenkanen takes the race. From the radials, we move to the men's and women's 470s. This is a class that rewards finesse and technique. Both the men's and women's division on the same starting line in a dying breeze, holding position before the countdown. 3, 2, 1, the final rock and sheet in. We're off in the 470s. Just to windward of the Austrian teams of David Barger and Lucas Mayhart are our division leaders in the men, Stuart McNay and David Hughes. Leading the women's division, and in fact leading the entire fleet on the first reach, it's BRA 177 from Brazil, Fernanda Oliveira and Ana Luisa Barbachan. For the men, it's Canada number 6 out in the lead, Jacob and Graham Saunders. But watch out for division leaders Stuart McNay and David Hughes just behind. For the 470s, it's an outside trapezoid course, so the fleet will now head dead downwind. Back in the Olympic Games are the catamarans, the new class NACRA 17 off the line. This is their debut in the ISAF Sailing World Cup. Puerto Rico's Enrique Figueroa is one of the best multi-hull sailors in the business. He's sailing with his wife, and this will be his 3rd Olympic campaign of his career.
We did a few Olympic campaigns on the Tornado catamarans a few years ago, so we really missed the catamarans at the Olympics. So we're very happy that it's back and it's a mixed world now.
That's it. I have her band.
And how does that work, a husband-wife team? Who's in charge?
He is. Totally. He is.
I pretend I am, and eventually I know I'm not, so it works out pretty good.
Into the top mark, and it is Figueroa well out in front. Division leaders Sarah Newberry and John Casey have won almost every single race, but this will be their toughest. Back in the 470s, Brazil's Oliveira and Barbachan are still in command of the fleet. A lead change for the men. U.S. Olympian Stu McNay with his new crew, David Hughes, have passed the Canadians to take the lead. Into the finish for the women's 470s, it's Brazil's Oliveira and Barbachan who take their 2nd victory of the regatta.
The start was so confused about the wind, was so shifty in the beginning. The first upwind, we go very good. Enough for the rest of the race. It was okay.
And USA's Stu McNay and David Hughes maintain their dominance in the men's division. A lead change in the NACRAs has occurred right here. Better breeze to this lower left-hand side has given the edge to Canada's Luke Ramsey and Nicola Gurke. Now, can they transfer that into victory in the race?
Puerto Rico puts on a late charge, but it's not to be. Give the race to Canada.
And finally, we move to the start of the largest division in this regatta, the men's single-handed laser. Well, the race committee will definitely have their work cut out for them, trying to call all the boats on the line, spread out. Here comes the gun. Yes, X flag is up. Someone jumped the gun. A very strong beat for Canada's Rob Davis has him in an early lead at mark number 1. Tacking into 3rd place is Sweden's Jesper Stalheim. He is tied for 1st overall with Brazil's Bruno Fontes. As the breeze lightens, Canada's Robert Davis continues to extend his lead, and it's a race he's unlikely to lose.
Well, that wraps up our coverage of this 4th day of racing here at the ISAF Sailing World Cup Miami. And though the breeze was light, we got a chance to see the new NACRA 17 show off its speed. Tomorrow, we'll get a chance to see the new 49er FX women's skiff in action as our coverage of all the classes continues right here in Miami. I'm Tucker Thompson. For a complete list of results, visit morc.ussailing.org.